Mexico, people would be cannibals because they have nothing to eat, because they are so poor they even eat their children. And now Americans gave them the chance to live a life in decency, to not having to eat their children anymore. Who thinks that way? Who is that sick? Whose mind crosses these thoughts now, Inesh? For Inesh, this is just madness. But yet it is in the head of Americans. Americans think that way. Americans cannot stop of it. It is in their mind. It is in their DNA. Some people, they are just born mean. You can't do anything about it. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you endeavor to change their minds, they will always be the same. Inesh is sure about it. With some people you cannot talk civil. This is for a fact. Period. Inesh starts in the home. It is an apartment complex. Apparently this person lives here in high society. There are probably others who live here as well. Maybe other criminals, white-collar criminals. They don't have to hustle on the street. Inesh knows about some Mexicans, young boys who have to make ends meet on the street, selling drugs, doing whatever. What a sick world we live in. And this is America. This is America as well, of course. For all Americans, for all whites, it is all about blacks and Mexicans. It is all about foreigners. Well, they don't know anything. They don't know anything about life. What do they know? Inesh arrives at the door. She has to ensure and reinsure twice before she knocks, before she wants to break this door in. Her identity probably contributed to that. Her identity made this all possible. Now Inesh's thoughts circle around the thought, how much is he probably paying for rent? This looks expensive. But yet maybe he gets off cheaper. Inesh heard all these stories about Americans, about white Americans, that they pay half of the rent an ordinary Mexican pays half. That they would somehow be well organized, that there would be landlords who would only rent to white folks, to Americans. And she even heard that if in an area white folks live, if in an area Americans live, that this would have a positive effect on the community. And if Mexicans live, then the neighborhood would be crime-ridden, so that landlords would prefer white Americans. The thought alone makes Inesh sick. Who thinks that way? What a sick world. And she imagines what it would be like to live here. See her young Juan going to school here. Maybe the area is secure. Of course, Inesh knows that you can never tell. This is one building. You never know a neighborhood. Not before you haven't seen the nooks and crannies of this neighborhood. Because there are all those folks, all those undesirables are hiding. There one sees and gets a glimpse of the real neighborhood, what is happening real underneath it, behind barred doors, behind what people want to show you, and what you should never see. Inesh knocks. Her mind is racing. A lot of stuff she wants to tell Fromm. She expects it is a boy, a white boy who has never worked in his life, who has never worked 3-4 jobs like Inesh, who has never had to struggle through life. Inesh already hates him. She despises him. This guy who thinks that he can do this to her, and in her mind she thinks about Marco, his stupid laughter when she told him, "I thought you loved me," and she was struck. "I thought you loved me," and she heard her voice, her whiny little voice for the first time. It was as if her voice was someone's, as if it was not hers, as if this voice which she felt came from the bottom of her heart does not belong to her. And the only thing he could do was laugh at her, make fun of her. She laid her heart onto his feet, and he just didn't care. He didn't want it. He made fun of her. He poked fun of her. And now she feared it again. What if she would be made fun of again? She cannot go back in this police precinct. They are not taking her seriously. What is she supposed to do? Now this thing gets all messy. Everyone always thinks, well, in America you get justice. In America you only have to walk into a police precinct, tell your grievance, and they will listen. America would be a law and order country. Well, what do they know? What do they know? There are parts in America, and Inesh knows them well, where you have to be aware like you are in Mexico. Like after night, you don't leave your home all by yourself. And especially as a woman, you better watch out. Never enter anywhere alone. Never walk without company. 3-4 women. Be always careful. Be always together. This is Mexico, and this is America. You cannot just walk around the street at night in America. It doesn't matter whether America is one of the wealthiest countries in the world. It is scary in America. It is creepy in America. And Inesh knows this well. But white folks, they don't know anything at all. She knocks again. She gets impatient. She hears that someone is behind the door spy. Someone is scrutinizing her, probably feared. She's about to yell, "Open up!" But she thinks twice. She doesn't want to scare anyone. If she starts yelling, this person might be scared. And what will happen? Will the police act on it? They did nothing the first time. What if they come along and do nothing again? It feels so lost. Inesh feels so lost. What is she supposed to do now? Now she feels this rage. She's about to get raving mad again. Sees Marco's stupid face laughing at her. And she and her life, her feelings, how she feels, doesn't mean anything anymore. People just do not take her seriously. That's the fact of it. Inesh breathes in, tries to be calm. Maybe she can talk her out of it. Maybe she can talk this thing through. Talk to this man, to this boy who probably maybe doesn't know what he did. Maybe he has no idea what identity theft could mean. Well, Inesh doesn't know what it means actually, but she fears that anything criminal would come out of it and that she would have to pay for it. This is what you always do. People rot in prison for things they have not done. And especially here in America, who knows how many identities are being used simultaneously. How many people's identities have been robbed and stolen. Well, you do not even have to show identity if you want to cast a vote. Even the thought alone makes it scary. And what if she could be handcuffed, could be thrown into jail, and she has to prove everyone that she is not the person who did this crime, murder, whatever it is. Know that she is the real Inesh Santiago. The fourth Santiago, that's her name, even though she assumes that this is special and it belongs to her. She knows very well that in Latin America and around the world there are probably millions whose surnames are Santiago, and that there might be a lot of women here in the US and in Mexico who probably even are named Inesh. What is special on this name? Nothing after all. Maybe, and if someone looks like her face is a superb doppelganger. Well, who could then tell? Who could tell the difference if this person commits a crime and then everyone points at Inesh? She did it. It was all her. And given how the police has reacted, would they act on it at all? Would they help her at all? She doubts that. And again, she has to fight this rage, this helplessness. She cannot help herself. She cannot relieve herself from this. She is struck by it. Embezzled. That's what it is. Crushed. But finally, the door opens, and to Inesh's surprise, an elderly woman opens the door. She looks nice, a warm-hearted woman, and she immediately reminds Inesh of her aunt and all those nice older people. Her face, her feature seems to be that of a nice person. And for moments, Inesh doesn't know what to say to her. Should she yell at her? Should she say something about it? Maybe it is only a coincidence. Maybe this is just a cleaning woman, and the scary white dude who is actually responsible for all the misery is hiding somewhere behind and has sent the Mexican cleaning woman out to talk to her. This is what Mexicans live in. White folks, they don't want to face up with other foreigners. They rather prefer that Mexicans, blacks, that they sort things out among each other. Every white man seems to have one second in command whom he can send out